IBIT, Bitcoin ETFs, Blackrock, Larry Fink, and the global exahash of Bitcoin. Let's get a little speculative today and talk a bit about those things and how they may be related here. So, IBIT has $124.7 billion of assets under management. That's quite a large valuation there for something that's only been around for about 2 months. Um, and the thing that is holding that all up here is the Bitcoin network. And I'm going to go here, current Bitcoin hash rate. The Bitcoin network, which has a current hash rate, global hash rate of 732 exahash. So that's all the hash rate in the world right now estimated, right? Okay. Some of our favorite miners only have, Marathon, 28.7. CleanSpark's at 16. Riot's got a measly, where is it, 12.4. But actually, I couldn't even find that exactly what that was. So I'm going to skip that one for now. Bitfarms has 6.5. Hive, according to this January report here, you can see 3.88 average exahash for them, and BitDigital has 3.7. Now, I know that there are more companies out there, some of them with larger hash rates than that right now, but these are just some of the ones that I follow, some of the really big ones, and a couple of other small ones. Okay, so I have this on my Excel sheet here. These ones, all of them together, Mara, CleanSpark, Riot, Bitfarms, BitDigital, and Hive, all together, they only have 71 exahash. That's less than 10% of the global exahash, right? Less than 10% of the network that BlackRock has invested $124.7 billion in. If we add the remainder of the publicly traded miners, that's probably, I mean, we've got the three biggest ones here in here. So if we add all the other ones as well, I doubt that they would be more than, maybe another 10% of the network at most, maybe another 15%, let's say, just for the heck of it, just to be conservative in what I'm going to say here. So let's say there's 150 exahash out there that is in the publicly traded miners that we know where they are, we know who they are. Where's the other 600 exahash? Where is that going from? Who is mining that? Who is stacking that Bitcoin? That's very interesting to think about, considering this is just one ETF. And the fact that this number here, which includes the three largest publicly traded Bitcoin miners, only equates to 10% of the network, I promise you that BlackRock does not like that. And that is very likely why they are investing in basically every single publicly traded Bitcoin miner around in order to secure that network, to secure the network that is directly, upholding an asset that they are managing that is worth $124.7 billion for their company. Now, that's not an insane amount of money for them. I mean, it's huge. I mean, they have 9 trillion in assets, but 124 billion is nothing to sneeze at. So when we go into, ownership on Simply Wall Street, and we scroll down here and we see BlackRock right at the top here, owning 8% of Bit Digital. Let's take a look at Mara, Marathon Digital ownership. Scroll down, you got Vanguard and BlackRock. Vanguard making up 8%, BlackRock making up 6%. Let's look at CleanSpark. I'm going to run out of ones I can view for free here in a second. BlackRock owns 6% of that, Vanguard 4%, Invesco 3.25%. They are buying all the biggest ones, and they are propping them up a little bit. So let's see what Riot's got on their ownership. No, I ran out. Okay. Anyways, that's why you see BlackRock, Vanguard as the top owners of all of these companies here. They now have an ETF worth, over $100 billion, and they only know where 10% of the support for that network is coming from. Okay, it might be 20%. Maybe they know where 20 or 25% of that network is coming from, but they want to have a piece of that. They want to secure that. So honestly, the ones that they're buying into heavily, I feel pretty good about, just because they have an invested stake in these companies staying afloat. In companies like Marathon, CleanSpark, Riot, BitDigital, Bitfarms, any of these publicly traded miners that are supporting a network for the underlying asset of an ETF they just opened that has $128 billion under management. So now that doesn't necessarily mean that these things are going to go high flying to the moon or anything, but it does give me comfort in days where they are significantly red, like the last, few weeks, that they're probably not going anywhere. What are we down this week? We're down 27% since the high on February 28th. Wow. That's pretty dramatic, but it gives me some sense of peace knowing that while they may not reach all-time highs again, might not be back at, 54, 50, 60, $75 anytime soon, or maybe even at all, there's a good chance it's going to be worth more than it is right now. And there's a good chance it's probably not going to go bankrupt, even though that they are diluting heavily. They are diluting us by 25% marathon anyways in a few days here, or they might have already done it, which is might be why we're down, you know, nearly 30% in, a week and a half. But keep that into perspective. This is going to be a real short one. The global exahash is, we only know where 10 to 20% of it is. We don't know who some of these big players are that are making up the rest of the 700 exahash. I mean, maybe you can tell us in the comments. I mean, I do know that there are huge mining operations in China. I don't know about Russia, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were some huge mining operations there as well. I also know that there's some pretty big mining operations in Iceland, since they've got a lot of geothermal electricity there. It's very inexpensive for them to mine Bitcoin, so they're actually a pretty big Bitcoin miner. But there are unknown factors in that network in terms of who's mining it, who's keeping it, how much do they even have. And I think that's one reason that when you see big wallets, like when the all-time high came in the other day, a huge old Bitcoin wallet came into play and started dumping Bitcoin. I think that's why that spooks the market so badly, because there are wallets out there with just massive amounts of Bitcoin that they've just been accumulating for years and years and years that could come online and just dump on us, like that one did. So that was pretty interesting there, but that was just a little hope for the day, right? You got BlackRock supporting these guys, and they've only got, like I said, the biggest ones and a couple, mid-sized ones only make up 10% of the hash. The other 90%, let's say 80%, let's say 80% are unknown, maybe 75 are maybe not necessarily unknown. I'm sure the big money at BlackRock probably knows exactly where most of it is. But they have a vested interest in increasing this number here for the publicly traded miners, especially those in like the US and Canada and a few other countries, so that they have greater control of this network. Because BlackRock doesn't like losing money. They don't like not controlling their assets. It is in their vested interest to keep companies like Mara, CleanSpark, Riot, Bit Digital, Hive, Hut, a few others afloat and growing, because they support the Bitcoin network, which is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're only 45 days into this ETF, and they've got $128 billion, sorry, $124 billion in it. We're only 2 months in. Another 2 months, this could double. Another 6 months, it could triple. By the end of 2024, it could do more than that. Given how many people are getting involved in this, how state pension funds are starting to buy into this, how governments will be buying into this next year, this could get significantly larger. And it's very important for them to secure that network, to ensure its security, to ensure its stability, to ensure that this asset they've opened up that's got hundreds of billions of dollars, or that will have hundreds of billions of dollars of assets under management, stays solvent, and doesn't go to zero for unknown reasons. So that's all I've got for you today. That's just something I wanted to talk about in relation to Bitcoin, to BlackRock, to these ETFs, and how honestly it's actually made these Bitcoin mining plays safer in a way because they need these companies to remain, productive to grow their exahash so that they can get a larger chunk of the Bitcoin exahash globally and make sure that that network is more secure, that they know where that network is being propped up. They know the weak points and they have hopefully the strongest aspects of it. So anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.